The RHONJ family member with whom Melissa Gorga has been estranged is ready to get back in touch with her. In the course of the past few seasons, her family has been confronted with a significant problem. The moment it appears that things are getting better, something knocks them back down, and it is even worse than it was before. In light of the fact that season 14 is well started, Melissa has admitted that there is one family with whom she is willing to reconcile. Continue reading for further information. Gorga, Melissa ready to re-establish contact with a member of the RHONJ family. The episode that aired on Sunday, June 23rd, brought a lot of drama to the Real Housewives of New Jersey, and Melissa Gorga had nothing to do with it. An event with a Tulum theme was hosted by her sister-in-law, Gorga-Giudice, from whom she has a strained relationship. Regrettably, members of the cast, Danielle Cabral and Jennifer Aydin, got into a fight, with the latter pushing the former. Almost as quickly as she could, Danielle replied by hurling her drink in Jennifer's direction and hitting her in the face. However, for one of the first times in a very long time, it had nothing to do with Teresa and Melissa, despite the fact that it was a complete and overwhelming mess. Simply for the sake of the family, fans and co-stars have been trying to figure out for a long time whether or not the two would ever reach a reconciliation. Some people have hypothesized that if Teresa had not married Luis Ruelas, her husband, then the relationship between her brother Joe Gorga, and his wife Melissa might have been different. Melissa is eager to get back in touch with one of her relatives from RHONJ, but there is one family member among them. It has been reported by Mo, Joe, and Teresa's first cousin that Kathy Wachtel is relocating in close proximity to the Gorgas. Prior to becoming a star on RHONJ, Teresa, Melissa, and Kathy were all wonderful people. Nonetheless, Kathy felt that she was compelled to choose and support one of the women. Since then, she has completely severed her relationship with both Gorga-Giudice and Melissa. Joe Gorga was also involved in the situation since he fought vehemently for Teresa. Nevertheless, Melissa revealed on Jeff Lewis Live that she believes there is a possibility of them getting back together. Melissa made the following observation about her husband. "I do think that he regrets, he did what he had to do at the time to support his sister and do what he had to do. But I really think that he enjoyed Kathy. In his eyes, Kathy was a wonderful cousin. This was taken care of by her. It was a wonderful bond between him and Rosie, who was Kathy's sister. Joe and Kathy are strolling down the street, and I secretly hope that they will run into each other at some point in the future. Kathy is a wonderful human being." In all honesty, Melissa Gorga feels a deep affection for Kathy Wachtel, and she is hopeful that the two of them will be able to move on with their relationship. In addition to this, she has the impression that her husband, Joe Gorga, is eager to re-establish positive relationships with his family. On the other hand, having Gorgas and Wachtels on the show since the third season has made things more difficult. In spite of this, they did not inform Gorga-Giudice. As Melissa pointed out, the most significant problem was that she and Joe did, in fact, take Teresa's side the most of the time, which caused Kathy a great deal of pain. In addition, Kathy and her family were terminated after the 5th season, although Melissa has remained in the role. For over a decade, the Real Housewives of New Jersey has thrived on family drama. At the center of that storm have always been Gorga-Giudice and her sister-in-law, Melissa Gorga. From heated shouting matches at reunions to unforgettable table flips and cryptic social media posts, the two women have been locked in a tug-of-war over loyalty, respect, and family honor. But now, whispers from inside the Garden State suggest Melissa may be ready to extend an olive branch, not necessarily to Teresa, but to another Giudice family member. And if the rumors are true, this move could shake the very foundation of the Giudice-Gorga feud. A family torn apart. When Melissa joined the RHONJ cast in Season 3, her entry was met with immediate suspicion and tension. Teresa felt blindsided that her brother Joe Gorga's wife would step onto the Bravo stage without her blessing. The resentment snowballed quickly, morphing into explosive fights over who was trying to ride coattails and who was tearing the family apart for fame. Fast forward more than a decade, and the relationship between Teresa and Melissa is arguably at its lowest point. Teresa's marriage to Luis Ruiz added another layer of conflict, with Melissa and Joe openly expressing concern about Luis' behavior, finances, and influence. The season 13 reunion left both women in tears, with Andy Cohen even admitting he felt like he was moderating a funeral for a family relationship. Melissa has since publicly declared she has no intention of reconciling with Teresa. But insiders say that doesn't mean she's shutting out everyone who shares her husband's last name. The Gia factor. Enter Gorga-Giudice, Teresa's eldest daughter. Fans have watched Gia grow up on the show, from a precocious child writing heartbreaking songs about her feuding family to a confident college graduate pursuing law. But Gia hasn't just been a passive observer in the feud, she's jumped into the ring herself, often defending her mother and taking pointed shots at Melissa. Most recently, she's spoken out on social media, saying her uncle and aunt need to respect her mom. Despite the tension, sources close to Melissa say she sees an opportunity in Gia. Melissa has always had a soft spot for the kids, one insider revealed. She doesn't want them caught in the crossfire forever. Deep down, she would love to mend fences with Gia, even if things with Teresa remained strained. A reunion in the making? Speculation ramped up after Melissa was spotted liking a fan page post celebrating Gia's graduation milestone. While it may seem like a small gesture, Housewives fans know that likes, follows, and unfollows on social media are the new battleground for Bravo stars. Melissa reaching out to Gia would be a game changer, another source noted. It shows she's not shutting out the entire family and could create a bridge for future reconciliation. Some believe Melissa may attempt a quiet, private conversation with Gia before the cameras roll again for season 15. Others think Bravo producers could encourage an on-screen meeting, which would almost certainly create must-watch TV. The risk factor. Of course, Melissa's move isn't without risk. Teresa has been fiercely protective of her daughters, often accusing Melissa and Joe of dragging them into unnecessary drama. If Melissa is seen as trying to win over Gia, it could backfire, sparking more fury from Teresa. Still, fans are divided. Some believe Gia is old enough to form her own opinions in relationships, regardless of her mother's wishes. Others think Melissa should steer clear and respect the boundaries Teresa has put in place. One fan tweeted, "Melissa reaching out to Gia is the most mature thing she could do. This family needs healing somewhere, somehow." Another countered, "It feels manipulative. Gia has made it clear where she stands. Don't drag her into this." More than Gia. While Gia is the most public figure of Teresa's daughters, some sources suggest Melissa's desire to reconnect might extend further. Gabriella, Melania, and Adriana are growing into their own identities, and Melissa has often spoken warmly about them in interviews despite the family rift. Melissa doesn't want the kids to grow up thinking she's the villain, the insider continued. She knows they see things on social media, and she's worried about the long-term damage. This is about more than Bravo, it's about family legacy. What it means for RHONJ. If Melissa follows through with this gesture, it could drastically change the tone of future RHONJ seasons. A storyline where Melissa and Gia find common ground, even if Teresa remains resistant, would provide a fresh, emotionally layered dynamic. It could also create new conflicts, as Teresa's protective instincts clash with her daughter's independence. Bravo producers are undoubtedly paying attention. With rumors of a cast shakeup and whispers of a potential reboot after the divisive season 14 finale, Melissa's decision to reconnect could secure her relevancy and reshape her narrative. Melissa is smart, one Bravo insider hinted. She knows alliances matter, and showing a softer side with the kids could win back fans who think the feud has dragged on too long. The bigger picture. At its core, Melissa's desire to reconnect highlights the tragedy of the Giudice-Gorga saga. What began as reality TV drama has become a generational family fracture, with children growing up in the shadow of their parents' unresolved issues. Melissa's move, if genuine, may be the first step toward breaking that cycle. As one longtime fan wrote, "I don't care about Teresa versus Melissa anymore. What I care about is those kids. If Melissa is willing to be the bigger person, I applaud her." Will it happen? As of now, neither Melissa nor Gia has publicly commented on the rumors. But with Bravo cameras never far behind, the truth is likely to emerge sooner rather than later. Whether this becomes a heartwarming storyline of reconciliation or yet another explosive chapter in Jersey history remains to be seen. One thing is certain, in the world of RHONJ, no feud or family bond is ever truly finished.